How is it going, Dragons? This is JP from the legendary Dragon Duelists. Now, it is pretty annoying when you're getting a new deck and you're playing with it, but then you realize that it's not as good as you intended it to be. Maybe you're breaking every hand, and even when you're drawing what you need, it's just not doing good. That might be because your deck is not optimized enough. In order to get the best result from your deck, you need it to be optimized. This means optimized. That's why today, I am going to be giving you some tips for how to optimize your deck to its fullest potential. First of all, you need to know every single card in your deck very well. Mainly the core part of your deck is the most important part, but also all the other cards you're putting to the side, like the good staples. Once you've memorized all of your cards in your deck well, you'll be able to instantly know exactly what they all do with ease. And it's not only going to help your deck building, but also your playing. I will now show you a quick example of me choosing any random card from my deck. And by looking at the name or artwork, I will be able to instantly tell you roughly what it does. Now, you don't need to know 100% every single word by memory, be able to say the entire thing perfectly. You just need to know a basic summary of everything that it does. Make sure you know everything that it does, because that is very important. Also, yes, shout out to this awesome playmat, Cyber Dragon Infinity. Of course, since I play Cyber Dragons, it was inevitable that I would get this. No more bad nat. So, might be saying, well, this is scripted because you can just put your deck in any order. And yeah, I do have it in deck profile mode, but that's why I'll shuffle it right now. I'm so sorry that I showed you this. I messed up on the shuffling. Okay, so now that you can see that I'm shuffling this, I'm going to stop shuffling and pick just any random card. I'll choose this one. What is it? Okay, that's Machine Duplication. That one's pretty easy. You just target one face-up monster you control with 500 or less attack and summon 2 of those same copies from your deck. Let's see it. Target one machine monster you control with 500 or less attack, special summon up to 2 monsters from your deck with the same name as that monster. Now that one was pretty easy. I'll do another one that's more complicated. Hopefully I get one that's more complicated. Let's see, look, we'll choose this one. Cyber Dragon Core, the core of the deck. So this one is, when you normal summon it, you can search your deck for a Cyber Speller Trap card. And then when it's also Cyber Dragon on the field and graveyard. That's important to know. When it's in the graveyard and you control no monsters, but your opponent controls a monster, you can banish it from the graveyard and special summon a Cyber Dragon monster. Not just Cyber Dragon, Cyber Dragon monster. Okay, let's read it. This card is normal summoned, add 1 Cyber Speller Trap from your deck to your hand. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon 1 Cyber Dragon monster from your deck. You can only use 1 Cyber Dragon core effect per turn, and only once that turn. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while it's on the field or graveyard. So yeah, so pretty much basic summary of the card that I was able to get by just drawing any random card from my deck. That's pretty easy to do once you've just played your deck for a while and know what the cards do. Like, I haven't even sat down and memorized these cards, I just know them after playing them for a while. It's also good to pay attention to cards that target and don't target and stuff like that. Like, for example, Rev System doesn't target And you can also special summon from the hand, not just a graveyard, and also gives you protection. Cybernetic Overflow doesn't target. It's good to know like these cards that don't target, just in case you're in a tournament and your opponent asks for a target and you tell them. Now you just messed up. Now you just made it worse for yourself. Next, of course, you're going to want to use cards that have synergy with your deck. Here's an example with Cyber Dragons again. Most of the time, people play Gamma Seal as a kaiju because that's the main kaiju, the most generic one, mainly because it has the least attack and it's the easiest to out. Not that it's hard to out a kaiju at all, but there's different ones that you should use for your own strategy. Like we use Jizukiru instead of Gamma Seal because it's a searchable kaiju. And also dinosaurs, they can search Dogoran, the dinosaur kaiju. And also other cards like Galaxy Soldier, which really help you get to infinity, not being a Cyber Dragon card, but one of the best cards in the Cyber Dragon deck. So you just really gotta make sure that you're paying attention to everything that could work well with your deck and add those in. I'm moving a lot, aren't I, with this seat? But also you want to make sure that you don't just randomly throw in cards, because that doesn't really help you too much. Randomly throwing in 3 Proto Cyber Dragons in your Cyber Dragon deck isn't a good idea. Although that does sound pretty funny. Knowing the meta and all of your matchups for the deck, like good and bad matchups, the decks you're good against, the decks you're bad against, that is very important to building your deck, because now you can adjust to the meta, how it's shaping up, and adding cards that benefits you from it. Right now, Dogmaticas are a great strategy that's being played a lot, and people are now putting in Cyber Dragon Nova, Invoked Mechaba, and Elder Entity Entis to counter these decks and pretty much gain off of your opponent doing stuff. Now, for examples of great matchups like with Cyber Dragons, let's say we're up against Salamangreats or Orcas. So Salamangreats are pretty easy because you just know that you special summon Cyber Dragon and then you contact Fuse. Gotta put my hand on the screen. You contact Fuse their Sunlight Wolf, and now they don't have anything to use with their Salamangreat trap, so you undid their whole turn. Also, Orcust do the same thing, contact Fuse their whole board. Is this video a video on how to optimize your deck or how to play Cyber Dragons? I'm just using it as examples, it's fine. When you're getting against like bad matchups, like for Cyber Dragons, I don't really do well against Subterrors at all. You're going to want to put in a good side deck in order to counter these strategies. Now, you don't want to just see a bad matchup and put it, oh, I'm bad against back row decks, 3 Twin Twisters, 3 Cosmic Cyclones, 3 Danko Sekka. No, that'll just make you have an even worse deck. The more cards you add on just to get rid of a specific strategy, well, your deck is good at maybe stopping them from playing enough, but it's not a good deck overall. You're going to want to make a good side deck that's pretty much you can side cards against any strategy. You want to be pretty generic and pretty good with cards that help break boards against decks that try to make unbreakable boards, or hate against back row. For any part of your deck, do not be afraid at all to try and test something new, maybe something you like and know how to work well with. It's also very important to test your deck. The more you test your deck, the better. Test your deck as much as possible. Do test hands. Like, pretend like you're playing against certain boards, and be harsh on yourself. Make them hit the most core parts of your strategy. You want to make sure your deck is the most consistent and really good at what it's good at. Now, once you're done with building your deck, or at least think you're done, you should always try to get other people's opinions. View deck profiles on YouTube, other places, anywhere where you could see a deck profile of your deck. Other places where you could view deck profiles, it could be like Discord. Join our Discord server, link in the description. There are many Discord servers that you can go to that really help. You're going to want to get opinions from people who've already played your deck. Maybe there's Discord servers for many different decks. You could go to the Cyber Dragon Discord server if you're having trouble with Cyber Dragons, or you can ask me in our server. Now that you've built your deck, there's some generic tips that you should know. I think it really helps your playing and your deck building when you playing something you like and really enjoy playing. If you enjoy playing ABC, play ABC. If you enjoy playing Cyber Dragons, play Cyber Dragons. Just play whatever you enjoy. I don't know, enjoy playing with Dual Shape, enjoy playing Pendulum. I'm going way too far here. So I think you can really do better playing a rogue deck that you enjoy than a tier 1 that you just hate. Now, one final tip that I want to give you is that your deck is never really complete. Now, this may sound kind of sad and like, well, wait, what do you mean my deck isn't complete? Well, since we're always getting tons of new sets released, and people are always looking at the meta and discovering stuff, trying to figure out things that are good, you are going to want to change your deck to be better in the meta. You can do fine if you don't edit your deck, but this is about optimizing your deck. We want to optimize. We want to be optimal. Going back to one of the points that I made earlier, when you just test more and play more with your deck, you just start doing better with it and start knowing which cards are better to put in than others. I don't know what this is, but I'm doing it. So that pretty much wraps up this video where I talk about how to make your deck better because you suck at making decks. No, I'm just kidding. If there's anything you think I missed, please comment them. If it's really good, I'll heart it. They'll be able to say that your comment got a heart from the Legendary Dragon Duels. Okay, so anyways, just have a wonderful day.